Hello, everybody. That is funny, dude. I'm gonna figure it out, okay? I promise. I'm gonna figure this shit out. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. My name is Marcus Aubrey, and you are watching It's Obvious. A couple things I want to note before I get started with this particular video. Every time I go back and watch the video that I made just before this, I can't stand the way I look. Dude. Like, there's parts of me that I can't even believe I made that video. I literally just put on a robe and started filming, which I thought would give it more of like an authentic, you know, like a personal, like, hey, you get to see me for who I really am look. And I regretted it immediately. I just looked disheveled, and oh my god, the video it was lacking in quality so much. So for this one, I wanted to make it look good and exciting and fun and light. And I got new light, by the way, like a little thing that it's cool, right? Should I change the color? Well, I can't because it's connected to my phone. Nah, the video looks fine. Whatever. It looks good. I'm not gonna take too long to get to the point in this video because we got a good show tonight. Is that copyright? Jimmy, help me out here. Is it copyright if I say that? Nah, Jimmy's cool. He wouldn't mind, right? I'm excited about this one today because I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and everybody in my circle has been wanting to be a part of this video because I asked them to be, and we all have very strong opinions, and this is gonna be the one to appin them all. I'm getting notifications. You guys are so nice. You guys are so nice. I'm gonna shout out Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. That was very sweet of you. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, we got a lot of strong opinions, and this one is gonna be the most opined of all the opinions because we're talking about Tenet, okay? Came out some time ago this past year, and I'm not gonna lie, I saw it in theaters, and I got a lot to say about that because you guys are probably looking at me like, oh, you're a fucking idiot if you went to the movie theater during a pandemic. Listen, we didn't plan it, okay? First of all, we didn't even know that movie theaters were a thing. This was back, how long ago, Steph? I thought my roommates could hear me talking. Anyway, so we didn't plan to go to the movie theaters during the pandemic. We saw like an ad that said, oh, Tenet is out in theaters, and I didn't even know what Tenet was. I watched one trailer and that was it. And for me, that was good enough. I was like, cool, let's do this. And also, the movie theater was fucking empty, okay? There was like 6 people total in the entire movie theater, and they enforced mask wearing. So it's cool, all right? We weren't problematic about it, but holy shit, man. I don't want to say too much about my opinions about the movie just yet, because what's going to happen is in a couple hours, I'm going to go to my friend Fox's house. Everybody say hi to Fox. And we're going to be hanging out with Joe. And yeah, we all can't stand each other when it comes to movies most of the time. Whenever it comes to movies or TV shows, somebody always has something to say about something. You know what I mean? And when we agree, it's never a 100% agree. It's always just like, oh, I agree with you on this thing, but for that thing, you're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
We're not mean to each other like that, but it's like, dude, when we disagree, I can tell, and I'm gonna be the one to be honest with the entire group here because no one ever wants to say it. We legit be getting mad at each other. Like, straight up, we do. And we'll never admit it. But it's like, we have such strong opinions about movies for some reason because we care that deeply that this shit will actually get us upset with each other sometimes. Why didn't you like that movie, man? We'll never just have like a basic like, oh, it was dumb, it was bad. If we have an opinion, we explain the opinion, okay? And we explain it deeply. We want to make sure that you know why we hate or love this movie. Tenet, I watched it once, okay? We watched it once in the theater. It was me and my roommates. Fox and Joe were not there. They have not seen this movie yet. I've been trying to tell them, you guys need to watch this shit because I hated it. I hated it. Now, I want you to give me a chance here, all right? Oh, by the way, there will be a lot of spoilers in this video, so we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of a like, spoiler warning. Do not watch this video if you do not want it to be spoiled for you. But if we're being completely honest here, it's kind of difficult to spoil a movie that I don't even exactly know how to explain. Now, without sounding like a pretentious piece of shit, I am very analytical when it comes to movies. And like when it comes to metaphors and underlying messages, me and my friends, we usually get those. They're not that difficult for us to, to figure out, because as soon as the movie starts, we're already trying to find little cues and just like, oh, could that be like foreshadowing? But we won't be dicks about it. Like we won't like stop the movie and be like, okay, so did you guys see that little part right there? That could be foreshadowing. Like we might like, mention a couple things here and there, but we love movies above everything, and we're not like movie hipsters. We're like, if you like a specific type of movie, that like we're gonna judge you for it. Like we watch dumb shit, man. We love silly, funny movies. Dude, the Scary Movie franchise is fucking amazing. 1 through 4, they deserve Oscars.
So why don't you just worry about you, and I'll worry about...
Anyway, getting back to the point, okay? Tenet. I did not like it. And it's not that I just didn't get it and refused to acknowledge that, maybe it's a little bit more complicated or complex than I would have expected it to be. I can acknowledge that. But this one was different in that it was so strangely put together that you don't even know if the people who made the movie I don't even know if Christopher Nolan could explain it. Straight up. And what's even better is apparently Robert Pattinson himself said that he was confused most of the time. You would think that the actors would know something, but that could also be part of like the whole mystery, where it's like maybe the director wanted them to be more immersed in the universe, and like because the characters are confused, we want the actors to also be confused. But that's bullshit, okay? I hate using this phrase, but for this movie, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. There's just too much going on. And that's usually a cop-out for when people watch a movie that they just didn't pay attention to, and they refuse to acknowledge that. You know what I mean? Like, you sat through a movie and maybe you were on your phone, or you were just kind of like passively watching it and you were just there because you wanted to get out of the house, and you didn't understand it because you weren't paying attention. And so for that reason, you walk out of the theater and say, oh, there was too much going on. I didn't really like that. I didn't like it. It wasn't good because there was too much going on. I'm telling you, in this movie, there is too much going on. And that might not be like a particularly bad thing, but it didn't help. I got a bone to pick with you, Christopher Nolan. It did not help that this movie was so uncomfortably loud. Listen, I've seen Christopher Nolan movies, alright? I've seen Inception. I've seen The Dark Knight. They're fucking dope, okay? And I remember each time in the movie theater watching these movies thinking, ooh, like whenever something big happened, like big or thunderous, like there's a roar of a car engine, you will feel it in your heart because they put so much like they put like this deep-rooted bass into those parts, like into that audio, and it's great. But never once have I ever walked out of a Christopher Nolan movie thinking, okay, they needed to turn that shit down. I've never walked out of any movie thinking, holy shit, who was in the fucking projector room and just cranked the volume all the way up to 100? Because that shit was so loud that me and my roommates, when we were watching it, we had our ears covered the whole time. The only time when you got a moment of relief was when they were literally only talking. And I mean that without exaggeration. We had our ears covered for a good, I would legitimately say 90% of the movie. And I have to acknowledge that's one point that will definitely contribute to my dislike of the movie, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like that could potentially be a big reason why I'm so biased about it. And it's like, that's a big deal, Christopher. What's up with that, man? Turn it down. Turn it down. And according to him, I didn't actually read up on this or whatever, but people have asked him about it, and it is very much a specific point that he wanted to make. That's something that he chose to do. I don't know if that's true or if people are just putting him in a box and just making up words for him. Like right before they release the movie, he'll go into the office or whatever and turn all the volume knobs up. You know, I've heard someone say that, and that could be complete bullshit. But for this movie, it makes sense. It would make perfect sense that he literally went ahead and did that, because holy shit, it was thunderously loud. Turn it down. Another thing, let's see. This is my biggest one about it, because throughout all the noise, I could piece together, the dialogue and what they were saying. And my big problem is that with this movie, it's there's no logic behind behind what's going on. And like I said, I only watched it once, so it's not fresh in my head. But at the beginning of the movie, there's a lot of action and there's a lot of talking. Like, it's one of those things where they open up and as soon as the movie starts, it's a mystery. You're like, what the hell is going on? Why is this all so important? And I actually like that about the movie, where they throw you right into the thick of it and you're there to try to piece together everything that's going on. And from an audience's standpoint, I gotta give it to them. I was interested as fuck in the beginning. I was so curious to know what the hell all this stuff meant. And they go ahead and begin to explain some things. And it happens towards the beginning, I think. Like, it could be within the first 15 minutes, could be even the first 10. We see the main character discovering the whole reverse aspect of that universe. They walk him into this room or something, and they're like, here, come into this room. We'll show you. And so they bring him to this room where there's like this gun range, and they hand him a pistol, and they're like, okay, fire the pistol at this wall or whatever, shoot the targets. And he opens the gun, he's like, there's no ammo in this gun. And they're like,
not yet.
and he's like, what? And I'm not going to explain every single detail, but basically she goes on to say, you have to will it to happen. You already shot the bullets. You need to aim the gun and shoot the bullets back into the gun. You're reversing it. And that is a very interesting concept that I would be totally fine with if logically it made sense. Now, bear in mind, this is not real life. You can't reverse time physically. You cannot live through a reversed period of time. So yeah, of course I have to acknowledge that. It's not a real movie. But she's talking to him forward. She's talking to him in the present, the way that I'm talking to you now. She's not like, it's your never plan yet. She's not saying this in reverse. Okay? She's saying it to him like this, like how I'm talking to you right now. And she's saying you have to hold the gun up and pull the trigger, and by instinct, the bullet will come back into the gun because it already happened before. Meaning that beforehand, he fired the bullet into that wall. But if they're talking about it, and if it happened in reverse, then we would be talking in reverse right now. We would be like, it just doesn't make sense. And it doesn't have to, because it's a movie and it's meant to be enjoyed. But there's a logic barrier there. There's a flaw there. You have to acknowledge that, Chris. How can you fight someone if they're fighting you in reverse? So wouldn't that mean that their punch already happened? So do they punch? Does the punch come off of them? If I'm in the present and someone's fighting me in their reverse realm, they wouldn't technically be punching me because my forward moving present is not in reverse. So how are you in reverse in my... Dude, you know what I mean? It's so confusing to the point where it's frustrating to think about. I was not like drawn into the confusion. You know, you watch a movie like Inception, for example, where he gives you this idea where it's like, wow, how does that work? And you want to. The more you watch the movie, the more you learn, and the more that it all comes together to melt into this one big point, the understanding of who those characters were. And I thought that was very beautiful. And they did something with Tenet where it was a very similar concept, but just executed in a very strange, I guess, unorganized way. He didn't care enough to make it understandable because it was such, I just want to make a cool movie. And you know what, I guess at the end of the day, what's wrong with that, right? It's a cool movie and you watch it and you definitely get something out of it. No matter what, no matter what side of the ballpark you're on, you will be very much intrigued by this movie. You'll be interested in this movie and where it goes and all the twists and turns that it takes you on. But I think I'm very excited to give it a second shot today. I'm excited to see what my friends have to say about it, even though I'm pretty sure we're gonna be butting heads a lot about this one. My prediction, I'm gonna say it right now. My prediction is my friends Fox and Joe are gonna love this movie. It's just gonna be a complete 180 from everything that I'm saying right now. And who knows, maybe I might change my mind and I might be like, oh shit, now that I get a chance to watch it a second time, I can actually, okay, let me focus on the plot and not so much the action, because I think the action is what confused me the most. How is this possible? I found myself asking that question so much. How does that make sense? How is this possible? But I think if I just sit back and enjoy the story and really hone in on what the characters are saying, I'll be able to appreciate this movie a lot better. So that's what I'm predicting, and that's what I'm hoping for. Guys, I'll see you on the other side. In the meantime, enjoy our commentary. See you around. Ready, boys?
Is it recording?
We literally just got done watching the movie, and the outcome may surprise you. I have compiled a list of talking points and questions that I felt they would be effective to help get our specific opinions about this movie across to you guys and help make sense of what it is that we just saw. First things first, I'd like to introduce everyone to Joe, and this is Fox.
That's it. End of video.
Alright. See you guys next time.